Thank you for staying with us. It's time now to know what's on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. And joining us is political technocrat Dr. Dayo Kayode and President Yawawori Youth Council, Abayomi Asiwaju. Okay.
Yes.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. Good morning.
Good morning, Veronica.
All right, let's head straight to the papers now, and I begin with the Daily Times. Nigeria makes strides in COVID-19 battle. Nigeria makes strides in COVID-19 battle. You'll find details of this story on the pages of the Daily Times. We move now to First News. Insecurity, over 2,000 Nigerians killed in first quarter of 2021 alone. CSOs plan mass action for May the 26th in remembrance of victims. You find the details of the story on the pages of First News newspaper. To the Daily Trust now, Boko Haram army raids home, arrests 13 suspects in Kano. Army raids home, arrests 13 suspects in Kano. You find details of the story on the pages of the Daily Trust. To the Blueprint now, let's engage foreign partners to tackle Boko Haram. Ex-military chief says seized weapons from troops have strengthened insurgents once toll gates returned, manned with scanners to discover small arms. You find details of all of the stories on the pages of the Blueprint. Let's quickly move to the Leadership newspaper now. Ammunition-laden truck falls, spills live bullets in Anambra. Ammunition-laden truck falls, spills live bullets in Anambra. To this day newspaper, Buhari mourns victims of insecurity, condemns nationwide bloodletting. Bandits kill 11, injure 3 in Kaduna, Katsina. To the Nigeria Tribune, first quarter, 400 Nigerians murdered by Boko Haram. Bandits, herdsmen report. You find details of the story on the pages of the Tribune newspaper. To the Vanguard now, e-payment, every part of Nigeria bleeding Catholic bishops. One policeman shot as gunmen attack another police station in Abia. You find details of the story on the pages of the Vanguard newspaper. To the Daily Sun now, banditry, residents of Abuja suburbs flee. Banditry, residents of Abuja suburbs flee. To the Business Day, Nigeria records low interest rates and as bond yields rise by most in 12 years. You find details of the story on the pages of the Business Day. To the national economy now, rising corruption distorts Nigeria's public finance. Lawmakers, CSOs, others speaking there. To the Business AM, analysts weigh in as Access Bank, Zenith Eye, Old Horse, Union Bank. To the Nigerian News Direct, 3 months debt service gulps $1 billion CBN. Details of the story on the pages of the Nigerian News Direct. To the Guardian now, weak consumer protection keeps cement prices high. Weak consumer protection keeps cement prices high. And finally, on the page or the front page of the Punch newspaper, remove petrol subsidy. Economic Council tells Buhari warns states subsidy makes investment in Nigeria's downstream oil sector unattractive. Council. Details of the story on the pages of the Punch newspaper. So, gentlemen, before we get to the paper, let's quickly get your reaction to a new development. Over the weekend, we saw that the APC that announced the Progressive Youth Conference, and we have been talking about youth participation in politics. Now, this is the first of its kind, and a lot of reactions have been coming up, especially from the youth, with regards to this conference. I wonder what you make of this move by the party.
Yes, I think it's a fantastic idea because we can't run away from engagement. We can't run away from discussing our issues. And of course, it is when you do that, points will be raised, ideas will be juxtaposed, and at the end of the day, we can say, okay, let us go this route. Let us adopt this particular brilliant idea. So it's a fantastic idea that the party, APC, has started to bring youths together to say, okay, let's judge or let's see how best we can go forward from where we are. We've been advocating for this kind of engagement for a while, that let the youth also contribute to, national discourse. Let them contribute to the development of the party, because as we speak today, APC is still the ruling party, and any decision that is made by the party will definitely affect Nigerians. And I guess that's the reason why most Nigerians were actually concerned about even the constitution of the planning committee members, because most of the people that are even reacting on Twitter and all other social media platforms, they are not members of APC.
Right.
But they are concerned because
they
any
feel
decision,
that it should be much more inclusive.
Yes,
than what they're saying.
Of course. You see, this is a planning committee. Sometimes ago, I think about 2 years now, I was drafted into the transition committee of Ogun State Governor. That is Prince Dr. Dakwa Abiodun MFR, into the education, youth and sport. And people were congratulating me and all that. I said, well, this is not actually something you should be congratulating, because it's a call to service, right? Yeah. And of course, it's also a pro bono service. It wasn't as if we were paid or we were expecting any form of payment. So I wonder why they just said, well, they feel it's just a sign of recognition that at least they feel you can add value.
They feel that their interest is something that you'll be tabling.
Thank you, thank you. So for those who are thinking some names should have appeared in that planning committee, we can't possibly have everybody. I was also, when the list came out over the weekend, I was checking, I was expecting that I will see some of my, at a level, I'm a leader, I'm a youth leader, but I also have some leaders that I look up to. I was actually looking, will I see this person? Oh, this person is not here. So why would I now be bothered? But fantastic, we have some people there that, yes, checking through the names, you definitely know that because they are loyal to some leaders, up there, their names, if it's not even there, we should even question it in the first place. And that's why congratulatory messages have started coming in from different network, Yemi Oshiba, the network group, you understand, Buhari Media Organization and all that, but just because they belong to that group. And that's why they found their name there. So for me, I think it's a fantastic idea, and I hope that something significant will come out of it. That's the most important thing.
Before we get your reaction, Dr. Dayokaide, we need to quickly go on this break, and when we return, we'll get your reaction, because I know you have a lot to say.
Sure.
Thank you for staying with us. Before we went on the break, we were talking about the recently announced APC Youth Progressive Conference, or APC Progressive Youth Conference, that will be taking place June the 14th. The announcement was made over the weekend, and we got the reaction of one of our guests here in the studio. Now we move to Dr. Dayokaide to get your reaction. This is, like he has pointed out, Abayomi pointed out, this goes to show that perhaps we are beginning to look at youth participation in politics. And so I wonder what you think should be at the front burner of discussion once this conference takes place June the 14th.
Just like my brother Ashiwaja Abayomi said, fantastic idea. Fantastic, honestly, fantastic idea. If only there is sincerity there. And I point it out now.
Okay.
Something was going on my mind while he was talking. I said, will they come to somewhere like Ota to come and pick him to that conference? And while that was going on in my mind, is that I was looking at some names. And those names are some of these people that are loyal to some leaders.
I asked him when he came back. I didn't see his name on
it. You understand? That are loyal to some leaders. When we met, when we were outside, I was discussing something with him. I said, because of certain things that I'm going through now, it made me to understand that, look, we the people are not serious at all. And that is why the so-called political, economic, religious leaders are dealing with us the way they are dealing with us.
How are we not serious?
I will tell you.
Yes.
Look at the youths now. APC have known the mindset of people towards them. The mindset, I think viewers will be able to decipher them themselves. Now, they are now looking at that area of population that is having electoral value within our demographic characteristics, the youth. How do we now capture the youth? They are now coming up with this idea. Now, what they're now doing is, those so-called political leaders are not bringing in those that are loyal to them.
These are speculations, though.
He mentioned something just now. He mentioned something. Either speculation
So from what he
either
mentioned.
speculation or not, he had seen it. He's a youth. He's a youth. Remember somebody that just left here just now was saying something, and you were just saying speculation, and the guy said, yes, because you are on national TV. Let us leave it like that.
Of course, you have to have facts.
Yes, there are these are facts and figures. They are all in the public domain. Let us assess, evaluate those names that are there. Are they not trying to use them against other youth? Look at this. Look at this. When you mention that particular topic to him, I say, oh, fantastic. Because I always say something. The youth of nowadays, they will say, yes, Afegbajoba. Yes, Afegbajoba. That is, we want to take over government. I always ask them, what do you want to use that power for? I'm not saying the youth should not come into politics.
They understand where the shoe pinches.
I'm not saying, but the youth, as much as they have foresight, the elders, they also have insight. And those two needs to work together. Those two needs to be blended together for us to move forward. And that was the problem we had in the past. How old was Gowon when he was head of state? How old was Bukola Saraki when he was governor? How old was Fayose when he was governor? How old was so many of them while they were governors? But because they refused to fuse into their own insight the foresight of the elders. Let me give you a very, very recent example. Look at that senator. He's a youth. He was just, he has not even been sworn in as a senator. Or probably he was just being sworn in. And look at what he did in Abuja. At that supermarket in Abuja. Fighting that woman.
That's a place of character anyway.
Do you understand? So what we are saying, either place of character or not, that's what we call youthful exuberance. And that is why the youth also needs the insights of the elders to be able to work on that exuberance. Now let's come back to the story. I mean, to the topic we are talking about. So as much as I love this one, there must be sincerity of purpose. Not that just people that are now calling for that conference, they will now use them against the other youth. So what I'm saying in essence, people like you, Asiwaju Abayomi, you have to watch out. We have to be a bit careful. Because last election, I mean 2015 election, we all knew the kind of change they were talking about.
Right.
And now we are seeing it. So also now youth involvement. We are talking about youth involvement now. Don't let us be carried away with that euphoria. Let the youth themselves come to. I'm still a youth. I'm a youth.
I'm not sure.
It depends on it depends on your definition of youth.
Right.
Do you understand?
Okay.
It depends on your definition of youth. There are a lot of people that are 35 years of age.
Youth at heart.
If we go on a 1 mile race, I will still defeat them. You should give us something to do. I will see. Do you understand? But what I'm now saying in essence is this: we have to be careful, because sometimes,
Right.
the smooth ground can be slippery.
All right.
Dr. Dara, let me quickly say this, that there's no time the youths have ever said they will walk in isolation. You understand? Definitely, like you have rightly said, we have foresight, and we will also rely on the insight of the elderly ones. So
No,
there's no time we are...
foresight.
You said?
It's insight of the youth, the foresight of the elders. Foresight in terms of there is no amount of height a youth can climb up to and see what an elder is saying.
Sincerely, Dr. Dayo.
It's about foresight.
Dr. Dayo,
foresight of the elders, then insight. Foresight
of the youth.
and then insight. That's the elders.
That's exactly what I said.
That's what he said.
So we can't possibly work in isolation. We definitely work with these people. And, let me quickly say this. They took history out of our academic curriculum. I don't know why. But today, some of us are deliberate about, studying history, going back to find out where we are coming from, why we are where we are today and how we can come out of where we are.
The changes that need to be made.
Exactly. So definitely in the course of doing that, we will definitely check on these elderly ones. Can you please tell us why your generation had these issues? I don't want to use the word failed. Why you have these issues? Sure. Then we can pick up some learning points from there, and then in our own journey into the future,
how many youth are willing to go this path that you have mentioned? Because that's also the challenge with a lot of Nigerians. We see that they talk. Go on social media, you find them talking. But on the day itself, how many of them are voted? How many of them have their voters card, rather? How many of them are registered to certain political parties like yourself?
It has always been like that.
Right.
Nelson Mandela, yes.
Are we being deliberate to bridge it? Are these the conversations that we'll be having?
We will keep doing it.
Right.
We will keep talking to the youth. We will keep using every platform that we have to engage the youth, to let them see a reason why we should not just depend on talking, but we should walk the talk.
Yeah.
Now, there's a level of commitment, and you have to be intentional about it, that you must put into something before you can get the desired result. And that's why we are telling the youth, yes, some can be savvy when it comes to technology and they can post and all that, but do you know that some of these posts sometimes pull some of us into action? Now, sometimes I don't get to tweet and do all that, but when I read, I see somebody come up with a brilliant idea. My own is to activate. So there are some that they will just come, give birth to ideas.
So collaboration.
Yes, and there are some of us that will just say, let us activate this idea and let's see how far. So at no point in time can somebody start, be at the middle, and it's like a relay race, and also be the one to finish the race. So some will start, some will pick up the race, and some will definitely end the race. So that's how it is.
That collaboration.
That collaboration, we can't shy away from it. And definitely, I'm charging the youths out there. You see, let us do away with talk. Can we begin to make take pragmatic steps? Let's begin to be deliberate and intentional about our actions to see that we get the Nigeria of our dreams.
Your final word, Dr. Dayakai.
Yeah, as much as I appreciate it, like I said, a smooth ground could be slippery. So the youth too should watch out. They shouldn't allow anybody to use them against each other. Go to that conference with a sincere mind and a sincerity of purpose. Not that you allow some people to maneuver you to whatever it's not supposed to be. That will not lead to further development of our nation.
All right, gentlemen, Dr. Dayakai and Ashwaju Abayami, thank you so much for your time.